Hello, hello, and I do believe we are live. Welcome into today's live coffee chat. I've got my coffee here. Let me know if you are joining. I am just checking all of the tech here really quick to make sure we are streaming live. I am going live in the Course Creator Collective as well as on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. And hello, all of my beautiful, lovely members in the Course Creator Collective and as well on my Facebook page. So just joining here today for a quick coffee chat to discuss my journey beyond perfectionism. So I know that this is something that a lot of new and aspiring coaches and course creators also struggle with. So I just kind of wanted to come on here for just a quick 5-minute conversation if I can keep it to 5 minutes. I'm not always the shortest storyteller, but we will see. There it is, perfectionism already like knocking at my door here. So we are going to go with it and just kind of talk about what perfectionism is and kind of how it has shown up in my life and the ways that I have been able to really bust through that and heal that so I could continue to build the life and the business that I truly desired and show up in a really deep and meaningful and powerful way for myself, for my clients, for my community, and all of the people that I love and adore. So kind of a little bit of background. If you're just joining, before we dive in, go ahead, say hello. Let me know that you can hear the audio okay. Let me just check it here really quick. I think I have my audio off on my laptop. Let's see. Looks like it's on there. I hope you can hear it. Well, I'm just going to go with it because I am also recording on my phone, so I can't check my phone right now. Let's see. I don't know why I can't hear it on my computer. Anyway, if you're just tuning in, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from and let me know that you can hear me. Okay, I would truly appreciate that. So a little bit about me, if you haven't met me yet, my name is Shannon Martell, and I am the founder of Visionary Edge Ventures. I'm a business coach and online course creator, and I help new and aspiring coaches and course creators to turn your hard-earned expertise into lucrative, life-changing online courses and coaching programs so you can really create the life of freedom and impact and income that you truly desire. So my background kind of started and, as far as from a business perspective, I was in corporate for over 20 years and eventually led to burnout. And through that journey and that healing journey, then I turned that expertise that I had from my corporate experience, which included many, many years. I was in management from like I think it was 1999 that I started in management, and I was in corporate all the way through. I retired in 2018. So I did a myriad of things, but primarily it was marketing, sales, training and development. I managed regions of teams, and I was responsible for building up the teams in all of the centers that I was responsible for, from training and growth perspective, operation, audit, marketing, sales, all of the things. So I was able to turn that expertise into online courses and coaching programs to help other aspiring and new coaches and course creators to be able to leverage and turn your expertise into profitable coaching programs and courses, and also create that life of freedom. But that wasn't without a lot of struggles and challenges on the way. And for me, kind of to give you a little bit of my backstory, I grew up as a child of divorced parents. So I had that going on. Also, my mother, when we were growing up, she was an alcoholic, and I was that middle child. So I was the one true classic middle child syndrome, but also like the caretaker. So I was the one that took on like the cleaning and the cooking and taking care of my little sister. And then my bio father, not the father, I had a father that adopted me when we were little, but my bio father, who I tried to develop a relationship with over the years, he rejected me over and over again throughout the course of my life when I couldn't live up to his expectations. So let me know if this is you, if you've ever had this experience as well, that you have had that from whether it was a family member, a friend, a teacher, just constantly living with that rejection. So like if my grades weren't good enough, and I was a straight A student for much of my life, but if I didn't live up to the grades, or I didn't live up to the expectation, or date the right person, or get the right job, like be in the right relationship, it was constant. You're kicked out of my life. Like, I'm not talking to you anymore. And it was also guised, and God told me, right? It was hiding behind religion, that God told my bio father that he was not to be in a relationship with me anymore. So needless to say, it was very, very challenging for me. And as a coping mechanism, I developed anorexia for much of my life. I think the first time I remember experiencing anorexia was at age 11, and kind of just it showed up many times throughout my life, over and over again. So but that was a way of, like, for me, like, really trying to find some sense of control in my life. And I didn't recognize that at the time, that that's why it was showing up. But that is definitely, what, I would do to try to have some kind of control. Is I controlled what I was or wasn't eating. Sorry, I'm trying to clear my throat. So, knowing like that kind of backstory, and coming into, corporate, I was very successful. But I also, like, if I didn't get like 100% on an audit, or the perfect score on my scorecard, I would still judge myself very hardly, even though I was a top performer. Don't get me wrong. And, perfectionists usually are top performers. They're A-type personalities. They're top performers. They work really hard at sacrifice for their own health and relationships and so forth. So that was me. Um, Again, not recognizing it, kind of thinking like, I just had to be perfect. I, wanted everything to be perfect. It didn't, wouldn't show up if my hair wasn't perfect, still like my hair done and my makeup done, but I will now go outside without either. But anyway, moving on like how that, learning or realizing that perfectionism was like a coping mechanism for me, and how that impacted in business. So when I came to the business space, then there was a whole nother level of perfectionism that started slapping me in the face, right? So, that comparisonitis of looking at what the peers were doing in the industry, what other coaches and course creators were doing in the industry, never feeling like I measured up. If I wasn't getting enough people liking my post, or engaging with my content, or signing with me on my sales calls, I took it very personally, like I wasn't enough. And at the bottom of it, that's what this perfectionism shows up for, is that low feeling of lack of self-worth. So all of that, like, really, really crippled me for a long time, as I was building and starting to grow my coaching business. And how does that look? How does that show up for you? Like, when this perfectionism hits you, it would show up as like hiding, right? So, I would go all out and launch an online course or coaching program or offer. And then when I started hearing crickets, then I would retreat, right? And then I would go hire another coach. So that cycle continued over and over for a long time, because I thought it was the strategy, or I thought it was the coach, or I needed a different method. Like, maybe I needed to work more on my spirituality, and maybe I needed to work on this, Facebook strategy, or YouTube strategy, or Instagram strategy, like what all the strategies, never realizing, like, hiding in this guise of perfectionism and not being good enough, like how that really affected me, and looking outwardly. That's a key right there, looking outwardly to try to fix this internal conflict. So that kind of led to the hiding. It led to the strategy hopping. It led to chasing the shiny objects. It led to like a lot of just really low self-worth and honestly, like, really hiding who I really was and hiding the message that really wanted to come from my soul. And I guess that's what, I wanted to bring this message to you today when I was kind of thinking about like what message could I bring, a quick actionable, you know, message or story that I could share with you today that if this is you, if you are feeling like you're struggling with perfectionism and you're hiding, you're not sharing your truth, you're not sharing your wisdom, you're not going out and building the legacy business and dream life that you really want because you're afraid of being judged, you're afraid of what people are going to say about you or think about you. Please just like decide that fear, that perfectionism, that you're gonna, it's like having these shackles like chained to you, like you're gonna get rid of them, you're gonna shed that illusion, because number one, perfectionism is an illusion. And that was one of the biggest eye openers for me and learning lessons for me, is that perfectionism is an illusion. Nothing is ever perfect. It's never going to be done. You're always going to want more. There's always going to be more growth and another level. The saying is like another level, another devil. There's always going to be more. And learning how, you can really like embrace that and really start to look on the inside and see, that little girl or that little boy in there that really is crying out and needs to be healed. And first just recognizing that and allowing yourself to feel the emotions that are there, even coming into this little, training today, I felt that emotion. I felt like, I've got to have it all, everything perfect and aligned and scripted out and, whatever. Like, that just that fear, but allowing it and seeing it and saying, like, I see you. I've got you. We're okay. Like, we can do this, because true growth and healing comes through. Like there's a saying I used to sing it with my daughter all the time, but it's like going on a bear hunt. Let me know if you've ever heard that, but it's like going on a bear hunt, gonna catch a good one. Can't go over it, can't go around it. You have to go through it. And that rings so true. You have to go through it. You have to acknowledge what is there, what needs to be healed. And it doesn't have to take a long time, but it is so worth it. It is so worth it to be able to show up in your truth and embrace your wisdom and your heart and allow yourself to be shining and allow your gifts to come out and really do that work to heal those wounds that are there. And the other thing I would say that was really helping me make this shift in my mindset and helping me to change my beliefs is recognizing that this was a pattern, and recognizing that you can always aim for excellence, right? Aim for excellence in the work that you do and how you show up in the world, the products and the deliverables that you bring to your students, and show up to be the best version of yourself. But perfectionism does not exist. Let it go. Let it go. Let yourself have that, sloppy copy, and just keep refining as you go, because that's how you get better. That's how you get stronger and build your muscle, by keep going to bat, by keep, you know, maybe working out is a better analogy for me than baseball, but it's like you get stronger every single time you keep lifting the weight, and fatiguing that muscle, breaking it down, and then it repairs and you get stronger. That's how this works. So recognize the tips, my four top tips for you today are: recognize that perfectionism is an illusion. It's not real. It's not real. Aim for excellence, aim to do, and I say this to my daughter all the time, what I expect of you or hope for you is that you just show up and do the best job that you can do with where you're at right now, right? With what you know, the knowledge, the skills, the abilities, that you just show up for yourself and you do the best you can do for yourself now. And that's good enough. That's good enough. Number two is to set realistic goals for yourself and celebrate the small victories and learn from the setbacks. So when you're creating an online business, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of steps that you will need to take along the way to be able to build, grow, and scale your online business. It's kind of like, Abraham Hicks talks all the time about like going on a road trip. And I'm packing today. I have my packing list. I'm going over to babysit my grandkids for a couple of days while my son and his wife go out of town. I it's like you have this destination in mind, right? You've got the destination of where you're going, but there's a lot of steps in between A to B to being able to get there. You don't want to wait to enjoy the journey and celebrate the victory when you get there, right? It's like going on that road trip again from like, Florida to California. You don't want to wait till you get to California before you decide to allow yourself to have fun. You want to live in the moment. You want to celebrate every single step. And every time that you stayed in integrity with your word to yourself, celebrate it because it's a win. Like crossing that bridge, it's one step at a time, right? I have a bridge in my neighborhood on the trail that I walk with Scarlett all the time. And the only way to cross it is to take one step at a time. Now you can go 90 miles an hour across it, and that's really fun as long as, there's not any roadblocks in the way and you hit something, or you can skip across it, or you can walk across it, or you could crawl across it. It really doesn't matter. As long as you keep taking and putting one step in front of the other, you will get to the other side, right? But you don't need to keep going back, looking over your shoulder and keep completing, redoing the steps over and over, like, take 3 steps and then go 3 steps back. No, we don't. You just keep going forward and learn from the steps that you took, learn from the result that you got, and from there, look at how you can optimize it and improve it. So this is how you set these realistic goals, not this pie in the sky, 100K months, when you haven't made your first 1K month. But if you can make $1, you can make $100, you can make $1,000, you can make $10,000, and so on, because it's the same process. In fact, it's actually harder to sell something, to reach a $10,000 goal by selling $100 products, because you need that many more leads coming into your business, that many more sales, that many, all of the things. So set your goals, set them realistically, that your brain doesn't kind of like shut down because you've never done that thing before, like even in like, working out, to use that example again, if you've never benched 150 pounds, you're not going to start with 150 pounds as your goal. You're going to start, let's see if we can bench 5 pounds, and let's see, move to the next level. Let's see if we can bench 10 pounds. And then you give that evidence to yourself and to your brain that you can do it. You get that muscle memory, you break it down, it repairs, you get stronger, and you continue on. The next step I would say is, really embracing your unique journey, your authentic truth and storytelling. Lean into it. Especially in this online space, there's so many, like, the highlight reel, right? The highlight reel of everybody's life, but you don't really hear enough, at least, of what the real truth is, and of the real struggle of like how many, the failures, but there's never really any failure unless you just don't try at all, right? So allow your truth to shine, right? Because there are going to be other people just like you, just where you were, that are going to be able to connect. I know there are other people like me that grew up very similar, maybe not all of the same things, but very similar to me, that also dealt with, or maybe continue to struggle with, perfectionism that keeps them from really showing up and living and creating the dream legacy life and business that you desire because of this, because you're scared. You're scared to push that live button. You're scared to, get on a sales call with a potential client because you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid that people aren't going to invest in your offers. You're afraid of being judged. Let it all go. Let it all go, and show up to be the best version of yourself, and to serve people in the best way that you can serve people, in the way that you were meant to serve them. And keep going to bat, keep putting in the reps and doing the things that are necessary for you to be able to create your products and market your business and make those sales. And the sales will naturally come. That money will continue to flow into your business because it's a natural consequence of the actions that you've taken, right? That's my belief. The money flows into my business every single day because it's a natural consequence of the actions that I take to show up and serve my audience, right? And to empower and equip new and aspiring coaches and course creators to build that legacy business that you desire. So show up for yourself, seek support, get into a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, or whatever your community is, mentors, coaches, community. Surround yourself with people that can lift and inspire you, that can empower you and equip you with the tools and the skills necessary to be able to go out and play all out, right? Play all out. Some of the best sports people in the world, they all have coaches, they all have mentors, because we have blinders on, and sometimes we can't see what those roadblocks are that are keeping us stuck. Or another thing I always think when I'm walking, I get so much inspiration when I'm walking, but it's kind of like, I have my dog on the leash when we're walking, and I'm constantly guiding her because we need to avoid the potholes or the ant beds, or, the things that I don't want her to step in and get hurt. Like, that's what having a guide, that's a silly analogy, but that's what having a guide helps you do. It helps you to shortcut your path and avoid all of the roadblocks and the ant piles or whatever that get in along the way. So get in your way along the way. So this is, as in conclusion here today, is just really embracing the imperfection for genuine progress. Like, be in commitment and integrity with your word. At the end of the day, you can celebrate all of those small victories and all of the small steps that you've taken, like setting that realistic goal for yourself. If your goal today is that you're gonna push that live button, you're gonna put that post out there and share your truth, you're gonna serve, in the way that you were meant to serve someone. Maybe it is that you spend quality time with your family member, or you go on that walk, like whatever it is drink your water, like commit to something small, and then celebrate the victory for the result that you got, and the victory of staying in integrity with the word, your commitment to yourself. Do it for yourself. That reinforces all of those beautiful chemicals in your brain that help you feel good, but also that shows your brain that you're safe. It shows your brain that you can do this, and shows your brain that you want to do this, right? And then you start to develop that muscle memory, and it becomes easy, right? So know these imperfections are stepping stones, one step at a time, you guys. And then just keep going, just keep learning and refining and testing and tweaking and putting it out there. And if you could all use support with this, if any of it, and this is why mindset is a big piece of what I help my clients work on, because there's so many things that stop us. It's not all about just learning the strategies and the skills that you need to be a successful online coach or business owner, but it is really about developing the mindset, the confident mindset that successful coaches and course creators have come through doing this deep interpersonal work to help you step into your greatness and be the incredible human that you were meant to be, using the gifts that you were meant to share with the world, right? God gave you your gifts and talents for a reason. And I believe you are meant to serve the people that you are meant to serve in the way you're meant to serve them. So let's quit hiding. Let's quit using this perfectionism as a coping mechanism, and let's flip it, right? Let's flip it, embrace it, allow yourself to feel it, and do it anyway, and show our mind that we've got this and we've got you. So if you could use some help in this, send me a DM or drop a comment down below. I would love to help you in helping you bust through any of the things that are holding you back from really bringing your brilliance out into the world and making the impact, income, and creating that lifestyle freedom that you desire through creating an online course or coaching program. I'd be happy to help you. So thanks for listening to me today. And if there are any other topics that you would like to see some support with, go ahead and drop those down below, and I will create some training and thoughts around that for you as well. So bye for now. Enjoy your day. And thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to you all soon. Bye.